Okay, I think we'll get started now. So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're joining us from. We're excited to have everyone today for this ServiceNow Impact webinar. Today's webinar is about platform health and how Impact helps you keep your ServiceNow platform healthy. Today we have myself, my name's Shrey Wagre, and then as well as Zach Temple, who is joining us from the product management team as well. We were both from the product management team, so welcome. And jumping right in. Before we get started, this is our safe harbor slide. It's to remind you that this presentation may contain any forward-looking statements based on our beliefs and assumptions that we know today, and that we undertake no obligation and do not intend to update these forward-looking statements. So today's session is part of a series called Live on ServiceNow. It's a curated event to connect you with ServiceNow experts and peers that can help you deploy your products and achieve value faster. We hope that you join us at our future events and 360 exchanges. That QR code will take you to schedule, and we'll also be sharing a link that helps you sign up for future events. Quick update for October's webinar. The date has been changed from October 31st to the following day, November 1st. So for those that have that signed up for that webinar, the day is just the following day. And then a couple of housekeeping notes. We've saved time at the end for Q&A, but if you want to ask questions throughout the webinar, go for it. Use the Q&A button. Please make sure that you don't put in the chat. They do tend to get lost, and we want to make sure that we answer all your questions. This presentation will be recorded and shared on the ServiceNow community. We'll also share a link in the chat as well throughout the presentation. And then after the event, you will be prompted to fill out a quick short survey. And we appreciate your feedback. We can only improve from there. So again, introductions. So thanks for joining us. We have Zach Temple, who's also on the call. He's on the product management team, and I'm Shrey Wagre. I'm also on the product management team. We're both product managers at ServiceNow. So just a quick intro to ServiceNow Impact. ServiceNow Impact is an AI and human-powered value acceleration solution designed to help you adopt ServiceNow solutions quickly, optimize your platform health, amplify expertise, and realize your value faster within your ServiceNow investment. Impact enables you to work alongside a designated team of experts and access additional guidance when you need it. You're able to accelerate adoption and drive your business transformation forward with your ServiceNow investment. Now, how does Impact enable you to do that? So once you look inside Impact, there's about 4 major components, them being value management, product adoption, platform health and support, expertise on demand. We generally have webinars on all 4 of these. Today is going to focus on platform health and support, but a quick walkthrough would be value management, helps you define your value blueprint, tracks it through the value business value dashboard, and how you achieve your goals and monetize them. Product adoption, align your resources with desired business outcomes and accelerate results with a product adoption roadmap, a capabilities map, managing your subscriptions, and getting AI-powered recommendations. Expertise on demand is the human-led component, which enables you with an impact squad, bite-sized accelerators that focus on specific engagements, including jumpstarts and tune-up accelerators, advisory sessions, and on-demand training. And then Zach will dive deeper into platform health and support, which we'll cover later in the presentation. So we'll do a quick poll before we get started. See a series of questions pop up. If you could answer those really quick. That'd be great. So first question being, do you leverage the impact health assessment? 32% of you said yes, 55% or 48% said no, and then 21% said I'm not sure. Do you actively use Instance Observer? 17% said yes, 66% said no, 17% said I plan to start soon. How often do you access the Platform Health Hub within the Impact digital experience? 9% said weekly, 10% said monthly, 16% quarterly, and 65% have never accessed it. Well, thank you for your answers. Moving along, Zach will take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Shrey, and thank you for everyone for participating in the poll. Good insights, and hopefully I can demonstrate some of the impact capabilities and hopefully to inspire you to use more, especially as you manage your platform moving forward. So as Shrey mentioned, there's a lot of different components that come with Impact that really help you get to value quickly and really maintain a healthy, high-performing platform. So you can push innovation with confidence, and also your end users have a pleasant experience as they're completing their work within the Now platform. When you're thinking about platform health and impact, it really comes into three pillars, and that is diagnostics, which provides you insight in terms of how you've configured your platform, understanding where technical debt might persist that impact performance and, again, user experience. And then also, how do you actually take action on those insights, remediating that technical debt and maintaining a healthy, well-positioned platform to continue to push innovation. And then secondly is the observability pillar. This is, unlocking through Instance Observer, instance performance telemetry. I will be providing a demonstration of Instance Observer today, but it really unlocks instance performance visibility for you as you manage the platform. And that's across your instance stack. And then you have proactive monitoring alerting there as well. So more to come. And so that's unlocking, diagnostics and observability for you and your teams managing ServiceNow in a self-service manner and providing you insights that you and the team can take action on. And then you supplement that with the third pillar, the experts on demand and support. Shrey mentioned the Impact Squad, CSMs, customer success managers, platform architects, success architects, and then your support account managers. They are all there to help you on your journey with certain skill sets based on the questions and needs that you have. And then you unlock access to additional experts related to different products or certain things you're doing within the platform through the Impact Accelerator catalog. And we'll talk more about that from a platform health perspective as well, but really unlocking access to experts across the product suite here at ServiceNow. And then lastly, developer support. Inevitably, there's times where you're going to have to look at some things and go outside of the box and do some custom configuration. Developer support provides TSE support, looking at that custom code and configuration when it breaks. So really good access there. And then lastly, on-demand training. There's a large suite of training that's available to you in an on-demand setting that you can upskill your team across the board. And it looks like there was one question that popped in. Impact comes with additional subscriptions. Is there any component that can be used without specific subscriptions? That is a great question. Currently, you do need to have an Impact subscription to use the items that we're talking about today. And I think it's a broader conversation of some of the Impact-based features that are available to you. But what you see today will be available as long as you are an Impact customer. Good question. So starting to look at those three pillars and what does it mean as it relates to your platform health and the importance. So if you're able to understand your technical debt, understand the performance associated with your instance, start to understand where that technical debt persists and take action on it, you're able to really increase your rate in which you upgrade, push new products quickly, and you can scale faster. And at the end of the day, you're improving the end user experience and also the developer and admin experience as well, as you can understand where you're taking the platform based on the work that you're doing. And I'll show you how you can do that with some of the features in today's demonstration. So the first being the health assessment. The health assessment breaks out your instance into 5 buckets, looking at it from a manageability, performance, security, upgradability, and user experience. Understanding your instance and how it's configured today, identifying technical debt within those 5 categories, and then providing you with prescriptive guidance, prioritizing the technical debt that's identified, and then also providing you, again, that prescriptive insight on how do you remediate and take action on those findings. And I'll show you that again in the health assessment dashboard. And that currently is something that you receive a monthly readout of for your instances. Then we're going to talk about Instance Observer. Health assessment, to me, I love to use a car analogy with platform health. Health assessment is very much when you take your car to the mechanic and you plug it into the computer and they tell you exactly what's wrong with it. Instance Observer is more of the dashboard of your car. How fast are you going? How much gas is in the tank? Giving you that real-time telemetry as you're driving and innovating on the platform, providing you those insights. And Instance Observer does that in an off-instance experience, providing you with a ton of telemetry. I think there's over 90 different telemetry types, giving you some detail analysis around those, and additionally looking at alerting and monitoring as well. So you can set thresholds and be alerted and take action when things go outside of the normal. And then Instance Observer really came about. Oh, I'm sorry. Instance Observer really came about through some conversations with our customers when we were incepting Impact. And it really came down to, it was very challenging managing performance of an instance due to the lack of visibility of the different performance telemetry, which then often resulted in the inability to push new innovations with confidence. And secondly, entering into your production instance, at times there was performance challenges there. So we looked in the mirror, we looked at what we had, and really wanted to provide a solution that starts to unlock some of that performance telemetry and allow you to take action and manage your platform confidently. And what Instance Observer does, again, is an off-instance application that provides performance visibility into your full instance stack. So your subprods and your production instances are visible within Instance Observer. We unlock some additional telemetry and instance metadata that allows you to really understand what's going on at that point in time when you see different revs put on your instance. And then again, you get up to 6 months historical. So you're able to go back in time and really start to educate, for your unique instance, what does that mean? And how do you take action on it? And then you couple that in with the health assessment, and you really start to make educated decisions as you manage the platform and reduce your technical debt. Specifically for the Instance Observer and talking to our customers, we went back to some of the early pilot customers and across the different personas of managing the platform, the unlocked visibility into instance performance really increased confidence and also allowed them to identify technical debt, especially that technical debt that impacts the performance, identifying that and being able to take action through some of the instance metadata, and also working with some of the health assessment findings as well. They couple a really good relationship, and you're able to push healthy code to production and maintain a high performing instance. And then the last layer to all of this, as I mentioned, is the access to experts. So you're going to have access to health assessment and Instance Observer for you and your teams as you manage the platform. And then as you need additional experts with your Impact Squad and certain SMEs within ServiceNow, you access those through accelerators. In many cases, it will be the technical accelerator catalog. And again, this will allow you to talk to performance SMEs, platform architect's a key expert there. But again, really understanding how you have your instance configured and how do you push innovation that is aligned with our best practice to maintain a high performing instance and a good user experience. And then lastly, as I mentioned on a few slides ago, you also have access to developer support as well. So when you do have those challenges with custom code and configuration, ServiceNow through Impact helps you remediate and identify the root cause to those challenges resulting from custom code and configuration. Looks like we're pretty good on the Q&A perspective. I'm going to jump into the product tour. If you give me 1 second. And what you should see here is the Impact Digital Experience. Currently, the Impact Digital Experience is an off-instance experience that brings together the 4 components that Shrey mentioned at the beginning part of the presentation. Today, we are going to focus on the Platform Health tab and show you where you start to access the different items I just spoke of. So currently, the Platform Health Hub is broken out into 3 different areas: diagnose, monitor, and support. The first one I'll talk about is diagnose, and that is the health assessment that I mentioned. This is a monthly scan looking at your instance across the 5 categories of manageability, performance, security, upgradability, and user experience. And then we break those out into 3 different buckets. From a findings perspective, we recommend that you either act on these, and that means relatively quickly, as there could be some significant concerns with that configuration. And then we break it out into recommend or discuss. And again, those access to experts allows you to go deeper and really understand what are those findings saying. And then you also get a holistic view across the 5 categories. How is your instance positioned as it relates to our best practices? And then, as I mentioned, you're able to click in, understand what the finding is, short description, the details around it, how many times it's seen within the instance. And again, allows you and the team to take action. And then when you need help analyzing it further, through some of the accelerators and the additional experts on your impact squad, really help you understand how to take action and what does it mean for your instance. And this is something that's ran on a monthly basis, so you're able to see the historical trends, and ideally you're identifying findings and remediating them, and you'll see those numbers go down over time. Then from a monitor perspective, within the Impact Digital Experience, we bring in some very high-level KPIs that are available within Instance Observer. I'm going to go deep on Instance Observer in a minute, but just from transaction server and SQL response time, provide those there for your production instances. And again, I'll show you Instance Observer here in a second. So accessing Instance Observer is an off-instance application. What you're seeing here is a demo environment, so you're only seeing one production instance. If you are an Impact customer and you access Instance Observer, by default, you would see your full instance stack, so all of your production and sub-production instances. With this, we provide some high-level KPIs, again, around your database size, transaction, and response times, the current availability of your instance, and then some of the cluster details associated with each. And then, as I mentioned, there are alerting capabilities within Instance Observer, and you're able to quickly see how many times alerts have triggered within the last 24 hours. And then as you're thinking about Instance Observer, there's really 3 areas that it adds value immediately to you and your team. When something's actively going wrong, how do you, quickly look at Instance Observer and understand what is going on and where are things going array? And you would do that through the triage module. So it's going to be a similar experience within Instance Observer. Select your instance, run the triage. And what this is going to do is go to your instance at this point in time and identify the transactions, the jobs, servlets, schedulers, semaphore sets, and any recent update sets that you've deployed. So you can get a quick snapshot of where things are. And you can see here, there's an aging job that's been running for over 24 hours. And you can see that here. And then you're able to click in, understand what that job is, and then start talking about, okay, what's going on? Is that supposed to happen? And start having that quick conversation with a lot of information at your fingertips so that you and your team, when you go on instance, you're able to take swift action. Secondly, this report is able to be downloaded. So in the scenario where you create a case with Now Support, you're able to provide this snapshot, and it gives a really good view of what was going on within your instance at that point in time. So it really strengthens the conversation and expedites, hopefully, time to relief as the TSC can quickly visualize this themselves. So really, really good tool to, again, see what is going on in the instance at this point in time. And then, as I mentioned, there's over 90 different telemetry types, and you get up to 6 months historical data within Instance Observer. And I call these here telemetry families. When you click in, you're going to see additional metrics that are available to you. And again, as I mentioned, similar experience, selecting your instance, select your date range, and then you're able to get a snapshot. So I selected it for all of the metrics associated to transaction and response times. You'll get some KPIs for the date range selected. And then you'll be able to see the trends in a graphical form of how the instance performed over time. So as you look here, you do see these different spikes as they progress and the instance operating. When you see a spike within Instance Observer, it doesn't necessarily mean that end users were impacted from a performance perspective. It's just simply showing that there was a rev put on the instance at that point in time. Similar again to your car, if you put your foot on the gas pedal, your RPMs go up. Um, what you want to do is, go in here and able to look around at the different telemetry. There's a lot of performance telemetry available to you. Your three top most important types are transactions, database, and semaphores. Maintaining a healthy platform, you want to see good performance metrics in those. And then we unlock a lot of other telemetry around jobs and different areas within the platform that matter to you as you're managing it on an ongoing basis. One of my favorite reports to show here is the database growth report. This report, again, you can look at it for up to a 6-month window, but there's one view that's going to load here in a second that gives you really good visibility into your individual table sizes and the growth rates around those. So upon loading again, getting some of those high-level KPIs and information. So your the 17 terabyte instance, what are your largest tables? What are the fastest growing? Quick insight. You're able to see the trends of your DBI and some of the core tables. And then I love this view here, the database growth view. So you're able to look at all the tables on your instance and see the growth and growth rate over a single day and 7-day period of time. And you're also able to alert against this as well, in case tables start to grow sporadically. Unknown to you, you're able to alert and monitor those as well. And when you're looking for specific tables, you're able to go in and search so you don't have to click through the long list of tables. Really, really good view. And then as I mentioned, the alerting perspective, there's 4 different alerts available to you from a channels perspective. You're able to configure email and text message alerts, and then you're able to integrate ServiceNow or Instance Observer with ServiceNow and third-party applications as it relates to alerts. So you're able to leverage API webhooks to integrate different alerts that you have set to trigger workflows either in ServiceNow or a third-party application. And currently there's 30 some different alerts that you're able to configure across the telemetry that I talked about. And just recently, we released the IO recommendation. This is where we look at your instance, understand the historical trends of your instance, and provide you with a proposed threshold that we think is worth monitoring based on how your instance operates day over day. So you can see here from a transaction perspective, Instance Observer is recommending that for setting a threshold for the moving average increase by 80% of the historical median for more than 5 minutes. And if you were to have this alert set over the last 7 days, you would have received 3 alerts from Instance Observer. So you'll continue to see the IO recommendation come across the other telemetry types as well. It's only available for a subset. But as you look at these different telemetry families, by and large, there's an alert associated with each telemetry family. So this is, again, an area where you're really able to unlock instance performance telemetry, understand how it works day over day, educate yourself, and then start to take action and monitor proactively with alerts so that you can rest assured you'll be notified and identify anything that's going wrong on the platform or potentially going wrong. And then lastly, as I mentioned, the access to experts. So your Impact Squad, they're going to be partnered with you throughout your ServiceNow journey. And then through the accelerator catalog, specifically the technical accelerators, you get access to a very robust catalog associated with overall platform management and platform topics, and then also product-specific accelerators. Looking at the tune-up accelerator, for an example, that's where we do a deep dive analysis of different product lines and really understanding what do you have on the platform today, how is it configured from a best practice perspective, and then where are there areas of opportunity to address some of the technical debt or potentially adopt more capabilities. So again, when you couple the 3 of those pillars, it really helps you manage a high-performing platform and really understand how your instance is configured and making sure it's positioned for success. So I'm going to pause there, stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that excited some of you in terms of the capabilities. There's a lot of exciting things coming in the roadmap ahead, especially next year, where we're really going to turn Impact Platform Health into like a system of action and allowing you to be really proactive